This is my absolute favorite credit card setup that I've been using for years to unlock a ton of free travel, and it's literally giving me thousands and thousands of dollars of value every year. These cards are the Amex Gold, the Blue Business Plus, the Platinum Card, BILT Card, and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Gold card, the BILT card, the Blue Business Plus card, and the Sapphire card are going to be my earner cards so I can maximize every single penny that I spend in my day-to-day life. I'm also going to be using these cards to transfer out my points to different airline and hotel partners, whereas the Platinum card is going to be used for its main benefits, things like lounge access and hotel benefits. So we're going to categorize this video in two different sections, the earner cards and the benefit provider cards. So let's get into this. Part 1, the earner cards. Gold card, the BILT card, the Blue Business Plus, and the Sapphire Preferred are going to be the main earner cards. It's going to be great for things like food, for rents, for like miscellaneous things like my clothes, this whole YouTube setup, for example. This is going to be how to maximize everything you spend. So starting with the Amex Gold card, this is going to be my favorite out of the bunch because it's the best food card, and food is one of the highest expenses that all of us has because we all eat food. It earns 4 times points on dining and 4 times points on grocery. So this card is a must-have in my opinion. Plus, with any Amex card, you can actually stack multipliers with Rakuten because Rakuten earns membership rewards points. So that 4 times points, if you could find something like 2 times points on your favorite grocery chain and Rakuten, you would now get 6 times points on grocery, which is absolutely insane. Now, according to ChatGPT, the average American spends $4,800 on groceries in a year, which equates to 19,200 points if you're going for that 4 times multiplier, and 28,800 points if you can manage to get that 6 times multiplier from Rakuten and the Amex Gold. And that's for a single person, assuming you don't have a partner or anything. That's a lot of points that add up over time. Now for a family of 4, according to ChatGPT, you can expect to spend $18,000 in a year. That would equate to 72,000 points or 108,800 points if you use Rakuten along with that. That is a ton of points that can be used for free travel, especially if you have a family. Plus, you get 4 times points on dining. And according to ChatGPT, once again, the individual spends $2,500 in a year on dining, or a family of 4 spends $8,000, which translates to 10,000 points to 32,000 points respectively. Now, for everything else that's not food, travel, let's say, for example, like electronics or clothes or like home decoration, things like that, that's where the Blue Business Plus comes in. The Blue Business Plus is a $0 card. It's a $0 annual fee card where you get 2 times points on everything, just everything. And that's why it's so necessary to get this card, because the gold card and the platinum card only come with 1 times points for baseline everything. But if you have this card, now you're at a minimum baseline of 2 times points on whatever you spend. So for things that aren't travel and food, this is where you want to use your card for. I find that I actually use my Blue Business Plus card more than anything because I'm always buying supplies for my business or clothes or like things that I just kind of don't really expect to get 4 times points off of. And once again, if you pair this with Rakuten, you get way more points. For example, right now, Nike is running a promotion on Rakuten where you get 18 times points on any Nike shoes or clothing that you buy. So if you pair that with the Blue Business Plus, you would now get 20 times points on any Nike purchases you make. If you're in the credit card game and you want to unlock a ton of free travel, earning points is your #1 priority. And then the best ways to do that is going to be with your gold card and with your Blue Business Plus card. The thing about Amex is that they have amazing airline transfer partners. They have more than any other credit card company. So I like to specifically use my Amex points for flights. They have my favorites. They have ANA, they have Air France, they have Cathay Pacific. And these are going to be the airlines that allow me to go to my favorite places like Asia and Europe, basically. For example, for 87,000 points, I can fly from LAX to Tokyo, business class flying with Cathay Pacific. And that generally would cost me around $7,000 for a single one of these flights. So yeah, this gives me some crazy value. Or I can literally go to Paris, Madrid, Barcelona, London for only 60,000 points. That's with business class, by the way, from LAX or from Boston or New York. And that would generally cost me per flight $4,000 to $5,000 as well. So you can see why these points are so valuable, especially if you're someone that values business or first class. You can get these flights for dirt cheap with points. Amex doesn't have the best hotel transfer partners unless you get the Hilton Aspire, but that's for another video and another topic. Assuming you don't have the Hilton Aspire, I would not send my Amex points to Hilton because they just don't give you that much value. And this is where the Sapphire Preferred and the BILT card come in, because they share a really awesome transfer partner in Hyatt. For BILT and Hyatt, I specifically exclusively use my points for Hyatt stays because the amount of the bang for your buck that you get with Hyatt is insane. You can get some amazing on the beach resort properties that are ultra luxurious for like only like 20,000-30,000 points. And that's why Hyatt is just insanely valuable to me. Now, BILT earns points on rent, specifically 1 times points per dollar spent on rent. And for someone like me, I rent out a lot. I have 3 business locations here in Southern California, and I had to pay rent for each of these locations. So why not get the max value from them and get points from every dollar I spend on rent? And that equates to around $11,000 a month I spend on rent to operate my businesses. So with 3 different BILT cards, I just got 2 other BILT cards from my family members. You can't actually get 3, I believe. But yeah, with 3 different BILT cards, I earn around 132,000 BILT points. And in other words, I just earn around 132,000 Hyatt points every year. For example, here is one of my favorite hotels that I've stayed this year in San Diego. It's called the Alila Maria in Ensenadas, which near San Diego. It goes for only 25,000 points a night, and each night would generally cost anywhere from $400 to $800 for a single night. And this was a beautiful stay. It's right on the beach. It's amazing views. The hotel is absolutely stunning. And for only 25,000 points, that's some insane value right there. So with 100,000 BILT points, I can literally get 4 of these nights just on the house. Because I paid rent this year, I get to stay at like a 4-day vacation at one of these beautiful properties. And that's why having the BILT card and the Sapphire Preferred card is so valuable. Simply because they transferred to Hyatt. That is the main reason I have these cards. Now, the same thing goes for the Sapphire Preferred, or any Chase card that can transfer to Hyatt is fine here. But for the Sapphire Preferred, we like it for the online grocery because we do order online grocery to come to our house. And we like that 2 times points on just general travel and for rideshare whenever we're in like Vegas or like Hawaii or something and we need to order Uber or Lyft. It's going to be really good for rideshare. So that's going to be another travel expense that the Sapphire Preferred kind of builds points for, and we could then transfer it again to Hyatt as well. We also just use the Sapphire Preferred for places that don't accept Amex, which is like a lot of places in Asia or like basically any Asian store here in like SoCal. They don't really accept Amex, so that's where the Sapphire Preferred comes in. To sum it all up, my Amex cards earn points for flights, where my BILT card and my Sapphire card get points for specifically Hyatt stays, so that all of our travel can be paid for by points. And that is how we like to do it. And that's why I feel like these cards are a must-have in your wallet. Part 2, the benefit cards. Now, the cards I use for the actual benefits that come with the card is going to be the Platinum card for things like hotel upgrades, lounge access, and travel protections, and the Sapphire Preferred card for better travel protections, basically. So let's go over all those benefits right now. Also not going to do like an in-depth review because this video would just be way too long. So I'm not going to go over like the Walmart Plus, the Uber credits, things like that. If you want a whole video on the Platinum card, how to maximize it, well then check out this video right here. It goes over literally 16 steps on how to maximize every single benefit from the card. But yeah, I'm just going to be focusing on the Final Hotels and Resorts program, the travel protections, and the Centurion Lounge access, along with the Priority Pass access as well. So in my opinion, the Amex Platinum card comes with the best lounge access, and that's something that is very valuable to me. And I think it's kind of situational on where you live. For example, I live here in SoCal, so the Amex Platinum makes the most sense for me because there are no Sapphire lounges or Capital One lounges here in SoCal, or at least not yet. So the Platinum card is what makes sense for me because I can use the Centurion Lounge here in LAX, and I can use the Delta Sky Club here in LAX, which is going to be very nice as well. So what I'm saying is that I'm not so specific on liking the Platinum card, specifically. It's just kind of dependent on where you are. If you're in like Dallas, for example, you should get the Venture X card because the Capital One lounges are there. If you live in New York, you should get the Reserve card because that's where the Sapphire lounges are. I think Boston as well, you should definitely get the Reserve. That's East Coast should just get the Reserve because Sapphire lounges are there. But if you live basically anywhere else, like Colorado or like Denver or something, I think the Platinum card is going to be the best option. Now, another reason why I prefer Amex is because the lounge network is bigger than any other lounge network. Like Chase only has like 4, I believe. Capital One only has like 3 right now, I believe. Amex has 16 or 18, something like that in that number. So I mean, it's more likely that if I have a layover somewhere, I can use the lounge there. And that's why I kind of like the Platinum card over anything else. But the competition is rising. And as soon as Capital One or Chase increase their lounge network, I might just be hopping on those. And it's become a trend now to get rid of guest access. The Platinum card did it. The Venture X card did it. I think the Reserve card did it as well. No, I think you can get a guest access with the Reserve card for now. But with Amex, the thing is you can kind of bypass that because they always want you to add an additional user Now it's become a trend with credit card companies to always like get rid of lounge or guest access for your partner. And so that's why I like the Platinum card as well, because they're always pushing for an additional user sign-up bonus. You get 20,000 points after spending $2,000 on that additional user card. And that additional user card allows that person to get into the lounges with you. And so that's why you can kind of get a free guest pass just by getting those points and hitting that sign-up bonus. Now, as for hotel benefits, when I don't want to use my Chase or BILT points to transfer to Hyatt and I need to pay in cash, that's when the Fine Hotels and Resorts program comes in, because you get things like $100 to $150 food credits, free upgrades, early check-in, late checkout, and free breakfast every morning. And that adds a lot to our travel, especially in Vegas. If I'm trying to go to Vegas, I will book it through the Fine Hotels and Resorts program because, yeah, like you just get like so much free food, all these benefits. It really just elevates the trip like crazy. Time last year, my wife and we got $150 in spa credits that we used for like a couple's massage. Granted, it didn't pay for the whole thing, but we still got to use the spa for like 4 hours as well. So definitely worth it for us. Plus we got free breakfast. If you go to the Wynn buffet, it's $66 per person. So you basically get one person for free if you eat with two people. So we got like a super cheap Wynn buffet along with the spa, and we got the suite upgrade, which is like the junior suite, I believe, in the Wynn. And man, it was everything that we wanted. Now, the thing about the Fine Hotels and Resorts program is that, yes, the prices are a bit inflated when you like compare it to like Google or Expedia, because you're really paying for those upgrades. You're not paying for them fully. You're paying for like a partial amount of it. But, it's worth it to me because I get all those upgrades that I think, in my opinion, outweigh the cost of that inflated fee. And I think that's another reason why you can get the Venture X as well, because you can price match your hotels to what you see on Google and Expedia, and you can still get the upgrades from their Premier collection. So that's why I actually had the Venture X card. It's just that Venture X doesn't have any hotels in Vegas specifically. So that's why I think it's lacking in only that aspect. Now, the Platinum card paired with the Sapphire Preferred card gives me all the travel protections that I'm looking for. And so let me go over each one. Now, Amex offers trip cancellation, trip delay reimbursement, baggage insurance, and purchase protection, which are going to be my biggest main draws. But the thing that Amex lacks is going to be a good car rental protection program. And that's where the Sapphire Preferred comes in. It has primary auto rental collision damage waiver, so you don't need to get the insurance when you get a rental car. You could just simply decline it, and it's covered by Chase. For example, let's say you had to get a car for 5 days, like somewhere like in Hawaii, and that 5 days would cost you $200. Well, if you wanted the insurance on top of that, it would cost you an additional $200. That's the entire price of the car. And car rental insurance is almost like a scam, man. Like it is so expensive for no reason at all. And with Chase Sapphire Preferred, I can just decline that insurance, not pay the $200, and my car is still covered by Chase. And that's why it's so amazing. So on the off chance that I do get in an accident with a car rental, then it's covered by Chase, and I didn't have to buy that insurance. And most likely I'm not going to get in an accident. So, you never know though. But it just kind of gets the stress out of the whole situation. And just on the side note, the Venture X and the BILT card also have primary rental collision damage waiver. So if you were to get into an accident, you are covered as well with those two cards. Now, some of the cards that I optionally have, and I totally recommend that everyone has as well, is some hotel credit cards, because hotel credit cards right now are like really, really amazing in this year. So what I would recommend is the Hilton Aspire card and the Hyatt cards, either business card or personal cards, because those two will give you some really great upgrades, really great benefits, lounge access, free breakfast, things like that. So I think it's totally worth it to have those cards. But if you're looking to keep your annual fees lower and still get everything covered, your travel, your flights, your hotels, then you could just go for the basic, Gold, Blue Business Plus, BILT, Sapphire, and a Platinum card. So basically, just to sum up this video, the best credit card system that you can have is basically 2 to 3 earner cards that earn in different categories like rent, food, and like miscellaneous, and have 1 or 2 premium travel cards where you can get things like free upgrades, lounge access, transfer partners, protections, things like that. And that makes for an amazing pair. And I believe those 5 are going to be the absolute best. The BILT, the Sapphire, the Gold, the Blue Business Plus, and the Platinum card is everything that you need to get everything covered. Now, another key part, in my opinion, that everyone can benefit off of is the Hilton Aspire card. You get so many benefits from that card. Yes, it's a $550 annual fee, but it comes with way more value than $550. So my goal this year, get more of those cards. So if you want these cards, it's actually a really amazing time to get these cards because it's that time of the year again where Amex is pushing out these cards like crazy. So you can get like 175,000 points for the Platinum card after spending 8,000, 100,000 points for the Gold card. The sign-up bonuses right now are insane. And I'll make sure to put my referral links down for those sign-up bonuses in the top comment of this video. So if you're interested in getting those cards, feel free to sign up with my referral links. It would really mean a lot to me in this channel. So if you want a more in-depth video on each of these cards, I have a whole video on each of these cards. I couldn't really cover them all in this video because it'd be like an hour-long video, but check out my channel. You can see every single, my tips and tricks to maximize and game the system of these cards while still having a good relationship with these creditors. Feel free to ask me any questions you have also about these cards, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. And I hope you liked this video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Woo!